Hello and welcome to Across the Acres, a Beck's hybrid podcast, where our goal is to connect, challenge, and inspire each and every one of you by interviewing others whom have a story or message to share. My name is David Ringer. I am your host. I'm joined by my co-host today, Morgan Fitch.
Hello.
How are you, sir?
Good. This is weird not pushing buttons and being in control.
There's no board
No.
in front of you because we have a special guest sound engineer, Alyssa from Dodds. She's here to help make us sound really good.
And boy, do we.
Oh, we sound fantastic, I think. But better yet, we have the one and only Shark Farmer and his better half with us today. Rob and Emily, what a treat to have you guys here today. This is awesome.
It is a treat.
For us, not for you.
I didn't assume that it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Terrible.
No, it's great to be here at Becknology Days. Now, we actually are not in Atlanta, Indiana, right?
Technically, we are just outside of Atlanta.
What's the address here then?
It is Atlanta.
6767
outside
East
of it.
276th Street.
Well, city proper.
Arcadia.
Like the town of Atlanta is that way about a mile and a half.
Irregardless,
We're here,
I'm happy to be here.
and we're glad you're here. It took a red eye to get here.
Yeah,
Thank
we
you.
were in
San Francisco just a couple hours ago.
with the Illinois Soybean Association yesterday. We saw the sea lions there in San Francisco.
Nice.
Really cool.
Yes.
Absolutely, I could watch them for hours. They get up there and they just fight with each other, push each other off the little platforms they're floating on. It
Yes.
goes on all day.
You were at the Fisherman's Wharf then.
We
Pier
were.
34 or 39, whatever.
Pier
it is.
39.
You guys probably
39.
talk about sea lions on your podcast
All the time.
Actually, it
Sea
comes up
Lion Heavy
frequently.
Pod.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Typically, that's a hot topic. And you came back from California, but with the Illinois Soybean Association.
Yeah, we were out doing some work with them.
Okay.
They had a Soy Connects conference out there where basically it's the United States trying to sell soybean meal across the world.
Very good. A little bit of ambassadorship, if you will, for those that
Yeah.
need to know about soybeans.
We did excellent.
Absolutely. Creating new markets to sell soybeans.
Thank you. We appreciate you doing that. It's hard work.
How come Morgan doesn't say anything?
I saw we're a Sea Lion Heavy podcast.
Yeah. He's contributing.
I'm listening to the audio, you know.
He can't help himself. It's his natural, like, who he is.
It's
Exactly.
a great podcast you guys got here.
Oh, we have a blast.
Thank you.
We
Thank
have
you.
way too much fun.
Yeah.
So first hard question, Emily, why? I mean, just why? I don't understand. You're a beautiful lady. You're intelligent. You've got so much going for you, but you said yes because
It's
I was
the
so
beard.
young. I was so young. And he had a
beard.
really great pickup line. Do you want to know what his pickup line was?
absolutely.
So we met at a 4-H fair, and his pickup line was, "Hey, honey, do you want to go see my show pig?"
Wow.
That is love. Good job, you.
That's smooth.
It worked.
It's smooth.
You can't argue with the results.
10 minutes later, we're out in the seeing my show pigs, and she was putting her hands to greater service. That's a 4-H
It's a
joke.
really bad
I
4-H
totally get it.
joke.
Yeah.
Okay.
Part of the pledge.
I hate that joke.
But what I'm amazed by is that Emily, why show pigs? You were like,
So I showed horses. So my love was showing horses. So, we
that
had
you
to
even
go.
went into the hog barn is actually quite remarkable.
I know, right?
The odor.
Right? The horses smell so much better.
Oh,
Totally.
please.
Oh yeah.
You're going to defend horses?
Oh yeah. I have horses. Used to have show pigs.
Makes
but
sense.
Total. It's a problem. The worst investment ever.
But
Okay,
yeah,
so
we've
it
been
was-
together a long time. We met, that was the summer after our sophomore year of high school. So 4-H dance.
Wow.
Yeah. So we
Love
owe a
at
lot to
first show pig.
4-H.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I do. I could tell right away that this was a winner.
And you called her honey right off the
No,
bat.
I didn't. I wasn't going to correct you, but I did not call you honey when I first met you.
Okay. I was going to say that's bold, but you're a man who, favor fortunes the bold, and you're a bold
Yes, it
individual.
does. Oh, okay.
Well, look at you. You're a successful farmer who has started something that very few farmers have started, which is a radio program and a podcast. And this is a whole new adventure that you're on and have been on for how long?
We started the podcast in June of 2017, and I started it. I went for a year, and it did well. And then Emily's like, "What are you doing? This is just going to be a hobby, or are you actually going to turn it into a business? And I said, I don't know how to. And that's when she stepped up from just being a homeschooling mom of 4 kids. And then she learned how to be a radio producer, a television producer. Yes, I would be just sitting there talking to a wall basically still if it wasn't for her turning this whole thing into a business.
It's impressive. Well done, young lady.
That's sweet of him to say. When he started the podcast, though, we really did think it was just going to be a hobby. I didn't give it a second thought. We didn't know it would turn into so much more. I mean, he, originally when he started the podcast, he even thought he was going to talk to hunters. And he thought he was going to tell hunting stories. And then after the first couple, we released 5 when we first started it. And if you weren't in hunting camp and you didn't know the people, it's not that interesting.
It wasn't good.
The ones with the
violated
farmers,
people's ears.
Oh my goodness! But everybody wanted to hear from the farmers, and that's where it really turned into something that we really love doing. I mean, we love to talk to farmers, just everyday farmers, not politicians or CEOs every day. It's really just your everyday farmer from all over the country, and it's so much fun because we hear from people like, oh, I'm not that interesting. I don't have a story to tell. Well, everybody does. Everybody has a story to tell. So
Kate, looking at you.
Everyone has. That's
Kate
true.
told her
Kate
story.
needs
We've
to be-
interviewed
yes.
Kate.
And it was great.
Yeah.
You had Kate on
It was
your
okay.
podcast before.
So much
we could
fun.
Get Kate onto ours. I don't know what that means. It's because she doesn't like Morgan.
Nah.
But it is what it is. The hunting roots, is that why the logo is the logo that you have with the deer?
Yes, we're trying to get some sort of logo that had a deer and a shark with the same thing. And I was sitting at my desk and I was trying to come up with something. And my son comes up and he's, like, what are you doing, Dad? And I told him. And then he goes off, I thought he's playing like Fortnite or some, what kids do or whatever. An hour later, he comes back and he has this concept of the sharks being the antlers. So we sent it off to a designer, and that's where we got the logo. So this logo means a lot to us.
Absolutely. Yep. Now the shark portion of it, though, where are the roots in that? Why the shark farmer?
When he got online, you were on Twitter.
Yeah.
His last name is Sharkey, and he thought, I'm a farmer, so he put SharkFarmer. And little did we know
Boom.
Clever.
that would lead to like thousands of emails a year asking how we farm sharks
Oh no.
in Illinois.
Oh no. People actually ask that question.
Yes.
Oh,
Wow.
constantly. Yeah.
Wow.
Please, Morgan, we would never be so. I'm gonna have to scratch that question off
I'd like
our
to think I
list.
won't be, but you never know.
Guess we won't be asking that one. Oh well.
Scratch that off the list.
Yep, that one's coming back off. But you decided at some point that farming wasn't what you wanted to do in its singular fashion. You're like, no, I'm going to start this media program, or it was just because?
No, it really kind of happened happenstance. I mean, she got a advertiser for the podcast, and then they wanted us to like speak at a meeting and stuff like that. And I don't know how it really started, but all of a sudden we went from being a farmer to like being a farmer / media
Influencer.
Influence.
I was not going to use that word.
He said it, not me.
It's on my list of things I had to say. I apologize in advance. You're uncomfortable with that term.
Not if the check clears.
Amen. Amen. But it's a word that I don't know that was ever used in its current capacity until recently. When
No,
we were
it's more
kids,
of a
nobody was
social. It's a social media thing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yep. And so
Which
then
ours, we don't have a big social media. Emily and I mean, our media is basically television and radio. But hey, like whatever she can hammer out, and she does such a good job at like handling all the contracts and coming up with these real creative ideas that we try to be different than other people. So yeah, as much as I would sit there and like to hear you say, "Oh yeah, you built this," it was not me. It was my wife.
Did you ever? So podcasting is kind of like a new version of radio. Did you ever have any interest in going into radio at all, or was this something you were just like, yeah, I can do this?
No, nothing at all.
Very cool. Very cool.
Emily, all of this a bit of a surprise to you, or were you planning this all along?
It was a surprise. Like I said, when he started the podcast, I thought it was just going to be a hobby, and I didn't think anything of it. But then he started really connecting with farmers, and we realized how much fun it was to share a farmer's story, and it snowballed from there. I mean, it's amazing to go around the country and hear. I mean, farmers are so alike no matter where you are, whether you're in California or you're in Illinois or you're in Indiana. I mean, there's so much that farmers have in common. They have all the same challenges. Think of things the same way. I mean, they're great people, and they're amazing people to work with. And so hearing their story is just, there's something special about it. It's fun connecting with people. It makes our job awesome.
And they're feeding the world, which so many people don't quite realize. They're under the impression their food comes from a grocery store, and they don't understand what's really going on behind the scenes. So when you're on a plane and you talk to somebody, well, I work with farmers. So what do farmers do? Oh boy, here we go. And that's a little frightening. So thank you for educating the world about what we do as farmers.
Yeah, we don't speak to people on airplanes.
Well, that's wise. It's just not good. But you're not afraid to, much like Beck's, share your faith. Has that ever created challenges or no?
No, not really. When we got on PBS, we wondered. We do have a show on PBS, and when you think of PBS, you might tend to think of it as a little bit more on the liberal side, maybe. But we've never had them say that we can't. We told them from the beginning that that's a huge part of our story is our faith. I mean, you can't really, be a farmer and not have faith. And so for us, that's a huge part of our story. And so when we have people on, we always tell people, our guests, whether it's on the TV show or whether it's on our PBS show or on the XM show, like, talk about your faith. It's a huge part of your life. And we do. And we haven't had any blowback from that. Really. They don't say we can't. So we do.
No. I mean, we own the podcast. RFD, obviously, they have no problem. Rural radio has no problem. PBS, yeah, that was one concern, but so far they haven't kicked us off.
Good. Okay, so other medias, PBS.
Well, the podcast comes out every Tuesday, and then we do the daily XM show on rural radio, and then we have the weekend show. That's an hour long on rural radio. That's Saturday, Sunday,
which is basically the podcast up in XM form.
Yeah.
Our show.
Sure.
And then we have SharkFarmer TV on RFD TV, and then we have
the PBS.
Shot of Ag on PBS.
And then we're also on Acres TV, which is like a free app, just sort of like a Netflix for agriculture.
Oh,
so
The
and we've got the root of it.
that.
Yeah.
Acres TV.
Acres
Yeah.
TV.
I got to check this out.
It's free.
Man, why not?
Yeah, exactly.
No brainer. Very cool. Now, at Roots in Farming, you grew up on a farm. Emily, you grew up on a farm.
So I'm what you might call a skip generation. So both sets of my grandparents on both sides farmed. So they were row crop farmers, but they also had Hereford cattle. And so my grandparents went through the 80s. And, of course, farming in the 80s was really hard. And so they really didn't encourage my parents to come back to the farm. So my dad became a soil scientist, and my mom worked for the hospital. And so it wasn't until I married Rob, who's a fifth-generation farmer, that I got back on the farm. So, I grew up with it. I helped my grandparents on the weekends and in the summers, but not day to day. So it was nice to be back on the farm.
Very good. That's fun. And for you, sir, the show pigs, beyond that, any other livestock, or was it mainly row crop?
Dad raised pigs, and when we came back from college, we got married, and that's what I was going to do. I was going to be a pig farmer. So we bought a large amount of feeder pigs. We rented buildings to raise them in, and that was in the spring of 1998.
Oh, boy.
Which was the record low hog prices. So right off the bat, we were broke. Broke. Not debt. I mean, we were absolutely broke. It took 7 years to pay off the debt from that one decision. But to this day, professionally, it's something that we are very proud of. Because when we went and talked to the bank says, hey, you're young, file bankruptcy and just hit the reset button. And the banker was like the guy in the county that everybody borrowed money from, like that guy that knew what he was talking about. So I didn't think there was another option. But Emily, she wasn't having it. She's like, hey, we're going to pay this debt off no matter what. And we did. It wasn't fun. Spent about
7 years.
6 months riding my bike to the farm because we couldn't afford a car.
Yep.
But we paid it off, and we're very proud of that.
Yeah, it's hard going through it at the time. I mean, it was terrible at the time, but looking back, I mean, it makes you who you are, and decisions you make during tough times, I think, helps along the way. But, going through it's no fun for sure.
It's the reason we started the Outfitter, which led into the podcast, which led into us being here. So, yeah, tough times are very tough, but there are some opportunities there that you got to be ready to take advantage of.
That's right. And the adversity is when we grow most, I believe. I don't grow when I'm having a great time. I might even coast when I'm having a great time, but in the hard moments, we realize what we're made of, and we can lean back on those moments where we've learned, and it's always a good day. I just don't like hard times, though.
Nobody does.
No.
More of a beach guy. Just let me lay there and soak up the sun.
It was so bad. I mean, we were
literally rode
so
a bike to work.
We could. Alternator went out on I had a Corsica, and I couldn't afford to get a new alternator, so I rode a bike back and forth, and it made it work. But you're right. If things are good, I hit the cruise button. I don't push myself like I do when the times are bad. So, yes, as much as I remember thinking, if I could just look 10 years down the road and know that I was going to be okay, that I could make it through it. It's that unknown that can just eat at you.
It's brutal. Yeah. A good friend just told me, however, we only see 2 foot in front of our face. God sees the full picture. It's that willingness to rely on him that I'm not always comfortable with. I want to see what's coming next. But if I knew what was coming, I'd probably have a panic attack.
Truth.
I would.
Yeah. And because here we are, as you guys have a celebrity status within the farming community. Had we told 24-year-old Rob that, would he have been okay with that?
No. No, and I think you're overestimating. It's kind of like a Ron Burgundy kind of telling him, I'm a pretty big deal.
It's amazing how many people know who you are, though. I just mentioned it to a couple of people that I wouldn't think would know who you are. I said, I get to interview the Shark Farmer. Oh, you're kidding me. You get to talk to him? That's super cool. How do you guys know him? And it's the podcast. So keep up the good work. People are listening.
Well, thank you.
So what's then next? Talk about pushing yourself in hard times. What's next for Shark Farmer?
Well, I mean, one thing that actually Emily worked on and we're really excited about is next week at the Farm Progress Show, we will be launching our deer blinds that we're working with FBI builders. So we'll be launching them at the John Deere booth. So we're excited about them. These are high-end deer blinds.
Home away from home?
They are
absolutely. You can drive your UTV underneath, park, walk up the stairs, and shoot a big buck.
That's amazing.
So they're definitely not for everybody, but we're excited. It's been a lot of fun, the whole process of it.
Well, and it's fun because it's a way for. I mean, I picture a lot of grandfathers and dads setting it up so they can take their sons and daughters and grandkids out to hunt.
Where in Indiana are they made?
Where is FBI? Remington?
Yeah.
My dad was a photographer for 20 years, and he was hired by FBI buildings all the time to take pictures of their buildings and their on the farm and stuff. So I know FBI buildings pretty well. Couldn't tell you where they're made though, but
they've been great to work with.
It's just outside Remington.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, they aren't paying for an ad on this, so
No,
stop
well,
talking
stop
about
talking
them.
about those people. What are we
Wrong
doing?
with
Giving away
you.
free
Anyway,
publicity? That's
Beck's
ridiculous.
Hybrid. Man, oh man.
And that's FBI buildings, not the FBI.
True. Just
Oh
to
my
be-
gosh, that's a
It's
funny
very,
conversation.
Very confusing when you
Yeah.
talk to people.
I'm like,
The
I'm going to jump on
CIA
a
is
Zoom
building your
call
deer
with
blinds.
FBI. They're like, oh boy.
Ugh.
Oh, okay. So a peek behind the curtain. What do you guys do when you're not in front of a camera or in front of a microphone? How do you relax?
Oh my goodness, we love to travel. If I'm going to rest my brain, I'm going to kayak. I love kayaking. Kayaking and hiking. We enjoy hiking together.
Yeah, we've got we're blessed with some properties that are very cool to hang out with, and we don't get to do it enough. I have my sons mow. They haul the mower. One's 5 miles away, one's 10 miles away. We mow this place up like it's a park, and we've probably sat there 3 times. 4 times, but I don't care. I don't care. When I want to go enjoy that place and I get a chance to, I want it to be nice. So yeah, that's
Absolutely.
we do like to sit out, campfire by the creek, that type of thing.
Very nice. And do you get some time or no? I mean, are you having the chance to relax, or are you constantly going?
That's a great question. Emily.
If only you had a good producer to manage your schedule.
It's
No,
that-
we-
it's
we
that
do pretty
catch
good.
20. It's yes, we're busy, but if we weren't, I'd be unhappy. So
Yeah.
that's that type of thing. Yeah,
Sunday
and everybody's
afternoon.
busy, so we do not complain. We love it. We do it all together. Most of the times we involve one or all of the kids. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. This has been a fun ride.
Yeah, I think that's the only way we do it is the kids are really involved with the media side and of course the farm, and because of that we can do it together. I think we wouldn't be able to do this if we couldn't do it more of a family. So
Right. Absolutely. Family's so important. Last hard question. Anything that you've been surprised by as you've matured into this role, something that's you're like, I didn't expect me to be this.
How about I answer for her?
Perfect.
Oh, that'd be great.
This is
do it.
ideal. And then Emily,
Let's
you
hear
get
it.
to return the favor.
When we built the radio studio at the farm, you do it in 2 sides, right? You got the talent side, and then you have the production side. So the mixing board is over on her side, and they were installing a microphone on her side, and she's like, "No, I don't need one. I won't talk." And we're like, you know what? Yeah, let's do it. You never know. Well, if anybody listens to the radio show, they now know that she is the co-host. I mean, she has, I don't know. I hear a lot of people say, I'd love to hear more of Emily and less of you. So,
Ooh.
but she's picked up on it so well. She was a homeschooling mom. But now, the way she's embraced, and I don't want to get too into the weeds of the media side, but my wife kicks booty when it comes
Aw.
to
Good job, Emily.
Oh, you're
when it
sweet.
comes to going head to head with the big of the ag medias.
You bet.
She's right up there, and man, she gives them fits.
Awesome.
Aw, listen
You're
to
brave.
that.
Good job, you.
That's awesome.
Would you like to return the favor and say something mean about Rob?
Yeah, it's good.
Oh my gosh, what did I not envision? I guess one of my favorite parts is when we're in Nashville interviewing people on the street. And I never envisioned us sort of relating with people like we do there. I mean, it's amazing how much they don't know, how much you could laugh about what they don't know about farming, but then it's amazing what people do. And I feel like that's so much fun. That's something I didn't anticipate, is just meeting people, asking them questions. And then I learned really early on, I'd ask people, I'm like, you want to be on SharkFarmer TV? And people would run the other way because they don't want to be on TV. But then I started saying, well, we're farmers from Illinois. We want to ask you some cool questions about farming. We don't make fun. And it's amazing. People want to talk to farmers. People trust farmers and want to talk to us. So that's been really fun.
Good deal.
So.
Well, thank you guys for a peek behind the curtain. I love that. Morgan, what'd I miss?
Nothing. I think it's been getting to know you guys over the past, week or so. It's been great. And keep doing what you're doing. You guys are crushing it.
Thank you. Thanks for having us on.
Oh, this is a treat, but you're not getting out of here without the fun, fast five.
Uh-oh.
We close every episode this way. So again, you two can choose to answer independently or you can work together on these very difficult questions.
Can we phone a friend?
Definitely can phone friends.
No
say
lifelines.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Let's do it together.
Okay, here we go.
Alyssa, our producer, is happy to help today if you need any assistance. If you're ready, here we go.
Here we go.
Oh, boy.
Train or plane?
Plane.
Okay.
What's a train? What is a train?
It's worth a shot. Cook or Uber Eats?
Uber Eats.
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
I mean, unless I'm making over the rainbow mac and cheese.
I mean, if a little woman could cook, yo.
Well, over the rainbow mac and cheese, yeah.
Shorts or sweats?
For what?
What time of the year?
Any day. Your choice.
Shorts.
Okay. You first or others first?
Oh, me. What kind of question is that?
I mean-
others.
Well, I know how she feels, so that's why I threw it in there.
Oh, others first.
Absolutely. Good job, Emily. It's called biblical. Hello. Last but not least, get fired or get dumped.
Oh,
Get fired.
really? You'd rather get fired than get dumped? What if? Why are you dating anyway? We're married.
We're not talking dating, getting fired,
What's
getting
it- what's it-
dumped.
What do you mean, right? Getting dumped?
It's up for interpretation. It's as you hear it. I'm just here to read.
We started dating at 16. Have you
I'm
been
thinking
dumped?
if you get fired, you've run off at the head saying something, right? But if you get dumped, somebody chose to not.
It's personal then.
I got fired from
personal.
Walmart, so I'm gonna go with dumped.
Oh my God, I
Okay.
hate it when he says
You got
that.
fired by
it was,
Walmart.
oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It was seasonal help. Of
Am I
course
still
he
gonna
got
call?
fired
They,
when
they pulled
Christmas
you
was
into the
over.
office and they said, "Well, your time here is done."
Because Christmas season
They
was
gave me a
over.
Christmas card.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah.
Nothing says love like that.
I stole the vest. You know the blue vest.
Yes.
They said
You stole
could,
that.
You
He
could
took-
drop your
he
vest
stole the
off.
box cutter
And I
too.
just walked out.
Borrowed.
I had my box cutter.
Borrowed.
No, I
Permanently.
stole it. Yeah.
I was trying to help you.
So,
you know.
so
Confessing
fired.
to felony on air. Here, I love it. Or misdemeanor.
Yeah.
It's minor.
No, I'd rather be dumped.
There you go.
I agree.
Okay.
Well, thank you guys.
Yes,
this
thank
has
you
been
both.
a treat. Thrilled to have you on Across the Acres. This has been a blast. Thanks to all of you for joining us today on Across the Acres. Again, where our goal is to connect, challenge, and inspire. Please join us next time as we continue to interview others who have a story or message to share. And until next time, we will catch you across the acres.